Okay, now that we booked everything, we kind of figured out our taxes, it's time to review some of our transactions from this year, right? And have some fun with debits and credits, make sure we understand this. So I want to show you 3 reports that I love. I think practically anything and everything can be accomplished with those. Of course, there are some other ones that make it much more convenient, but we'll cover those later. Again, first one, my personal favorite is transaction detail report. Anything and everything you possibly want and need to look up is there. So I'm just going to take a look at the entire year first. All right, so it has everything, absolutely everything. Filters, I only have date right now, right? So it shows absolutely every single transaction, and again, debits and credits behind it. Let's just make sure that we have our balance right here, so it shows if it's cleared and all that. Let's make sure it all fits in here. Okay. All right, you see debits and credits, so let's take a look. For example, what's cool about this report? Well, let's take a look. We want to see all the transactions affecting our bank account. Right, here we are. We have debits and credits. We know that debits increase this account. We know that credits decrease it, right, because it's an asset. And here we are. You can just roll through it and take a look of what happened, right? Our deposits, right, our checks, and so on and so forth. It shows that they've been reconciled. Again, we can click cash. In this instance, it will be the same. But here it is, right? So that's all the debits and credits, right, for our bank account. And we can take a look at other stuff, right? So for example, let's say we want to take a look at one of our expenses, let's say food purchases. Okay, here they are. And all of our expenses, it shows that you can see the difference, right? The difference is due that we moved to booking and live accounting mode right here. So we had to go through accounts payable. Previously, we went straight to the credit card. You see your expense account, that's your offsetting entry, right? It's a wonderful report. You've seen me use it to look it up some transaction by amount, for example. And again, there's a lot of interesting ways to use it. So for example, if you want to take a look at your bank service charges, same thing. Right? Here they are. And you know what was the offsetting account. And again, you know that your bank service charge is an expense right here. It goes up when debited. Here it is. Makes sense, right? So you can do that. Again, there are many ways to use this wonderful report. For example, let's say you want to zoom into a specific period of time. Let's say June. All right, and then you want to remove all of the account filters. And here you are. You have all of your transactions for June, right? You know what's being affected, right? Let's say you want to take a look at your sales, just what happened to the sales. Again, you're going to go to Customize Report, Filters, right? And then you're going to select Accounts. And then you can scroll down, for example, to your sales. Okay, and then you have sales for June. Very cool. And again, we know that sales revenue go up when they're credited. Here they are. All of your deposits, your sales for June, $12,548.75. Again, there's a lot of other reports that can accomplish that. I just, like the custom transaction detail report because it's very versatile. All right. Another cool report that, I just love using is the journal. Okay, so let's take a look. Okay, it has every single transaction that you have, right? And it breaks it down by debits and credits, right? It shows you what account is being debited, what account is being credited, and everything else you need to know about this transaction. So again, you can just scroll through it and recognize all that hard work that you did this year booking every single transaction. And again, you can do it through journals. So again, you can take a look at, let's say just January. Here it is. And you have all the debits and credits explained right here, right? And the way you customize it is just like the previous one. You have your filters, you have your amounts, you have your accounts. Again, let's say you just want to take a look at your bank account, what entry is affecting it. Here it is, right? You just take a look at all your debits and credits, breaking it down. So yeah, journal is very similar to the prior one with a little bit more detail. Okay, and one more report that I want to show you. It's also one of my favorites, right? It's under the accountants, and that's your audit trail. All right. This one is slightly different. So when you enter a date here, it talks about the dates when you entered it, right? So I'm giving you a little bit away on when I'm booking these things, right? But let's take a look. Let's say that, you know, and we're going to do it through the end of January, this January. All right, so here they are. So all transactions are here. Again, it shows the user that modified it when, right? So this is already current year because we did it kind of in catch-up mode. And again, shows if anything was deleted and what was the prior, and it shows the user. So again, it's a very useful feature if something comes up. It's like, well, where's that transaction? I'm pretty sure I booked it. Well, let's take a look, all right? And we can look and we see if it was booked, it was deleted, so on and so forth. Again, the cool part is that you can customize it just like all the other reports. Again, you can search by amount, you can look at a specific account. Again, let's say we're looking at our bank account. Here it is. Again, we see all the booking that took place for that account. We see the user that did it. We see that something got deleted, and then prior information was entered before it was deleted. We know exact time when it was deleted, so on and so forth. So again, a very useful report. The cool part about QuickBooks, again, there's a lot of reports that we can run, and we'll cover them in the future, but those are three kind of main tools that I use for reporting. Again, it's very useful to go to the transaction detail report and search anything you want, and I showed you that. It's, you know, kind of, I would say, go to number one report. You can literally look up anything you need to look up, and it's right there. A journal report is very useful too, very similar to this one. And then the audit log, of course, is very useful to answer questions on, hey, what happened? Did somebody book it and delete it? Or perhaps they never booked it, right? So we're going to end with this, and please stay tuned as we move on to QuickBooks Online.